Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets Breakdown Analysis for Thursday, the 2nd of November 2023. We'll be breaking down charts to show the exact zones where price will close for potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the daily candle for Wednesday, the daily has been bearish, breaking below the Tuesday daily low, tapping into the daily support formed on the 25th of October 2023. And now price is retracing and more likely we'll be seeing the daily candle closing doji bearish with a rejection to the downside. Now the way the daily candle is forming, that tells us there is a consolidation zone or a new range forming within the 4-hour time frame. Now as you can see when it drops down to the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see this is a new range on the 4-hour time frame. Now just quick recap on the monthly. Obviously the monthly candle closed below this level. We have a new monthly candle opening. Now the question is, are we going to see continuation to the upside, or are we going to see price pushing bullish, respect this high, and then retrace all the way and close bearish? Now obviously this is just the anticipation and it's too early to predict what's going to happen with the new monthly candle, because we need at least, I'd say, maybe one weekly candle to see how price is forming. Now based on a weekly time frame, we do have this weekly resistance at this level, so maybe we could see a weekly resistance forming for price to retrace and correct some of these bullish moves we've had within the last 2 weeks. Now to break down the chart and dropping down to the daily, let's have a look on the 4-hour time frame. So within the 4-hour time frame, what we can see here is we have the most recent 4-hour support formed around 1977. We have the most recent 4-hour resistance formed around 1984,900. Zooming in and dropping down to the hourly time frame. Now we have a new hourly support formed around 1974,800. We have a new level of resistance around, let's say, 1988,200. Dropping down to the 5-minute time frame, we have a 5-minute resistance at this level as well. And then on the 15-minute time frame, we have this fake out on the 15-minute time frame where we've had this candle closing bearish, no wick at the bottom, and then the following candle broke below this low, retraced, and closed back within the range. So now to identify the no trade zone, and I think ideally is to look for buys, maybe for buys above, let's have a look on 4-hour. I would say potential buys could be above 1988,200, above this hourly resistance area. For potential sells, what we could do is we could wait for price to break and close below 1974,800, because here's the thing. So if you were if we were to trade this range, so if you were looking for sells below 1977, the next level we have this 30-minute support, but this is a small range compared to how much the daily candle has been moving. For example, this is 210 pip range. Now, even if you were looking, for example, buys above this level, this is not enough range either. We need to allow for price to have some sort of a range to consolidate before breaking out of the range. So even on let's have a look on the 15-minute time frame. Again, this is a really messy range. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for price to break and close above 1988 as mentioned, and for sells below 1974,800. And this is going to be the no trade zone. And now to look for potential buys. Now, excuse me. What we can see here is we have a daily resistance formed around 2003,800. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, zooming in, and what do we see? We have this huge rejection on the 4-hour time frame, rejecting an area. Now, when you put a line to where this 4-hour rejected previously, this is a previous 4-hour support, which is one of the targets we've had on yesterday's analysis, targeting this previous 4-hour support. So now, since price tapped into this level and rejecting it, maybe price is going to retest this area again and then reject it. Now let's have a look again. So zooming in, dropping down to the hourly time frame. This is a previous 1-hour support. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, we have a 30-minute resistance within this level. What I would say is maybe look for another retest of this previous 4-hour support, because this is interesting. Okay, so I would say the first target for buys could potentially be a 1992-100, targeting the 4-hour support formed on the 31st, which is yesterday, the 31st of October 2023. The second target for buys, now looking at the daily, we have this daily retracement, daily rejection to the upside. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour resistance formed around 2000. Zooming in and dropping down to the hourly time frame, we have an hourly resistance at this level. Looking at the family time frame again, we have clean traffic on the left. I would probably stick to the 4-hour time frame here, and I'd say the second target for buyers could potentially be 2000, targeting this 4-hour resistance. And now to look for potential sells and going back to the daily. So actually, let's have a look on a weekly, monthly. The monthly time frame, we have a monthly resistance formed in August 2023 around 1963.900. Dropping down to the weekly time frame, we have a previous weekly resistance as well at this area. Looking at the daily time frame, this is a daily rejection area. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour support now around 1963.400, but this is actually a big range. So let's have a look. Let's see if we can compromise on these ranges. So dropping down to the hourly time frame, and what do we see? We have a previous hourly support formed around 1968.700. Dropping down to the family time frame, that matches with the hourly support as we can see. I would say the first target for sells could potentially be 1968.700, targeting this previous 1-hour support, which also that could be a potential wick fill of this previous daily candle up. And then the second target for sells, now what do we see? We have this previous weekly resistance formed around, let's say, 1962.300. Dropping down to the daily time frame, that's also a previous daily resistance area. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, this is a 4-hour support formed around 1963. Zooming in and dropping down to the hourly, it's also the previous 1-hour support, and we have this rejection that was formed only hourly previously. So I'd say the second target for sells could potentially be 1963.500, targeting the 4-hour support formed on the 24th of October 2023.
Dominion Markets, your trading sanctuary.